How does Jesus' death on the cross solve the problem of our sinfulness? What is the cross really all about? There are some Christians that think that the cross is just all about punishment, that that's the heart of it all, that Jesus comes and he takes on our punishment for us. Now, there's an element of Christ coming in and helping us in that way, but in the Catholic world, we talk about God's love, that's the heart of this. Think about it. If God is just up there and he just has this punishment he has to inflict and he pours it out on the innocent son, how does that solve the problem of sin? That doesn't seem very just. Imagine if there was a dad that had two sons and there was a guilty son that did something wrong and deserved to be punished. And the father looks at the guilty son and says, I'm going to give you a spanking. But then all of a sudden the other brother comes in and says, no, Dad, spank me instead. I'll take my brother's punishment. And so the father looks at the guilty son. He looks at the innocent son. He looks back at the guilty, looks back at the innocent. He says, I don't care who I spank. And he just spanks the innocent child. How does that solve the problem? It just seems pretty bizarre. Like God has all this pent up anger and he's just got to release it on someone. Again, that's not the heart of a Catholic understanding of the cross. Jesus isn't on the cross just taking our spankings. The Catechism of the Catholic Church tells us that it's love to the end that gives the cross its redemptive value. It's love. John Paul II made the same point. It's not just some innocent person taking on punishment. That's not the heart of the atoning value of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross. It's really about love. I love what Pope Benedict says. He says, God is a lover with all the passion of a true love. The God who is love is so in love with us. He wants to do whatever he can to remove the obstacles that keep us from him. So he came down and became one of us. Even though we rejected him, we turned away from him, he just is seeking us out. And he became one of us and he offers his life as a gift of love. Now that's the heart of what the cross is really about. It's a gift of love, the perfect gift of love, the only kind of gift of love that could repair the damage done by sin. You see, when our first parents sinned, it caused this big gap between us and the infinite God, the God who's infinite and glorious and all good and all holy. Now there's this gap between us and God and our relationship with him, and there's nothing we as human beings can do to make up for that gap because we're not infinite. We're finite creatures, and we owe God our lives already. We owe him everything. So what could I possibly do to make amends and give a gift of love to make up for this? So that's why Jesus, the God-man, can atone for our sins. As fully human, he can represent us and offer a gift of love on our behalf, but being fully divine, his act of love has infinite value. And that's why the saints have sometimes said that just one drop of Christ's blood is enough to cover all the sins of all humanity. So that's a real Catholic understanding. It's really all about love. And that's why Jesus invites us to enter into this, to share in this sacrificial love in our families, in our workplace, in our communities. We want to live Christ-like love. We want our hearts changed to live this total sacrificial love that Jesus modeled for us on the cross.